Kind of a slow day for crypto today, but we need a pulse check as we reset and go into a new day tomorrow. Here's SBF at FTX. I'll be speaking with Andrew at the Dealbook Summit next Wednesday. What is going on? He's speaking at a summit, nonchalant. That's what's happening right now. This video is not really about FTX, but it's about one thing. All we've been doing is talking about FTX. The crypto space just bombarded with headlines about FTX. Terrible situation, but it's time for a shift. It's time for kind of a pulse check as we reset now, go towards the end of this year. Some things going on in crypto as all of this is happening. Number one, survey suggests institutional investors still interested in crypto, doubling down in that regard. Kind of good for crypto in this bear market. It's what we want to see. It's the data that we want to see. Binance targets $1 billion for industry recovery fund. Check this out real quick.
We're thinking about setting aside $1 billion first. And then if that's not enough, we can allocate more.
I love that. I love CZ's just, we're going to set aside $1 billion nonchalant. If we need more, we'll add more.
And if that's too much, I think we're roughly angling for 6 months. If after 6 months, there's unused funds still left and there's not that many projects, hopefully the industry would have recovered by then.
Industry recovering by 6 months. That's interesting to me. And that's something he personally just kind of threw out there. And we can actually go over here to total market cap. And I really want to bring this into play. I want to bring this into the story because I think it's important with everything that's happening right now. I'm grateful today on this Thanksgiving. We're down as a total market cap from around 3 trillion. We're down to around 788 billion, down 73%. We were down 87% in that last bear market. I don't know if you were here or not, but it was a grueling, tough bear market. And every time people thought that it was over, it just kept going. Crypto kept falling or trading sideways, kind of torturing everybody that's in crypto. And it's kind of like we're kind of getting the similar vibes now. Everybody kind of debating whether the bottom is in or not, but it doesn't matter. I'm grateful because all of this has been just this painful time. It's been a Band-Aid that has been ripped off. And now we see as CZ is kind of introducing this I guess, fund, this crypto relief fund, we're starting to see positive things happen. And someone like CZ, and we gotta look at these guys, who are really big players in the space and listen to what they're saying. He's looking at a 6 month to see what's happening, hopefully seeing a recovery by then. This says a lot in terms of the bottom of this bear market. We talked about and discussed the other night in a live stream, I think over the last 69 years for the stock market, the year of the recession, whenever it was, the year before was the worst year. So if people are calling for 2023 to be the recession, that would say 2022, which is now almost over, the worst, finally, potentially being over as well. So that's kind of where we are in the market. And right now, Binance making some moves in terms of industry supportive moves. Binance aiming to amass around $1 billion for its recently announced industry recovery fund. He first announced a fund last week to help mitigate fallout stemming from FTX's collapse, kind of where it stems from. The fund will target projects which are otherwise strong but facing a liquidity crisis. Binance will allow a loose structure for the fund where different industry players can contribute as they wish. Contributors, and this is cool, will have to send funds to a blockchain address that the public can view. So we're introducing transparency, this open book concept now to the industry as the industry and the big players in it start trying to come together. One thing I want to just point out, it's not just Binance. We also have Bybit on November 24th. Crypto exchange Bybit also announced the launch of a $100 million fund to support its market maker clients. The fund will offer a helping hand to Bybit's dedicated institutional clients with a maximum of up to $10 million per client. So basically, these industry players that have skin in the game, that want to prove themselves as reliable, because let's face it, these players, they need to prove themselves now. Questions are going to start being asked. People are going to start being held accountable now. This industry is maturing. So we see things like this happening, and it's all while this is, in the aftermath of FTX. And you can just see after FTX's downfall, there will be a little bit more contagion, but the overall industry is fine, CZ says. So, it's interesting to see CZ say industry is fine. Let's give it 6 months if that's enough time for recovery. So he, I think, thinks that we're kind of getting towards the end too. And I don't want to put words in his mouth. All the while that's happening, we have this. Survey suggests institutional investors still interested in crypto. I would have guessed that. everything that's happened from Luna, 3AC, Celsius, FTX most recently, it's not gonna destroy crypto. It's not gonna happen. There's a lot of people that are thinking crypto is over, and they're just thinking that from just such a zoomed in, shallow mindset, I would say. But in the zoomed out, it's obvious, and it's obvious to the big players, to the big money, to the institutional investors. Institutional investors increase crypto holdings according to a Coinbase report. I'll put a link in the description to the report. Institutional Investor Digital Assets Outlook survey, professional investors have added to their portfolios. The survey conducted on 140 investors between September 21st and October 27th reveal this information. The total crypto assets of these investors were 2.6 trillion. Of the survey participants, 62% already in possession of crypto holdings increased the size of their portfolio. Check this out. Just 12% of the survey participants decreased their assets in the same time frame. So more people increasing than decreasing. And I just want to say, we also covered another bit of on-chain metrics the other day, talking about how 50%, more than 50% of BTC addresses in the red. That is a bottom type of data point, meaning in previous bottoms, cycle bottoms, that is a data point that we saw. So all of this, it implies that institutional investors have taken a long-term stance on crypto assets with optimism for the future. Up to 58% of these investors will likely increase their holdings in the next 3 years. So we end up back here on this chart, and it's kind of like, yeah, how long will the bear market last? How long is the bottom going to be? How much lower might total market cap go? It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, whether it's 10%, the bottom's in, maybe it's 40% to the downside. If you zoom out on this chart, I think we see what's happening. There is a ton of money coming into the space, getting ready to come into the space. Situations like what we've seen just kind of play out in recent months, and we can go to this chart. It's illustrated very, very well. Luna, Celsius, FTX, all of these drops, all of these falls leading to the maturity of this space, setting up the foundation for institutional investors to pour in the trillions of dollars that we're talking about. Just did a video last night, and we were looking at the total market cap of crypto, and we were talking about the potential for a $40 trillion market cap by 2030 if you zoom out on this chart. Sounds crazy, but just think about it. The recent all-time high was 3 trillion, right? So the growth of this space is just getting started. And what we need to see in these bear markets is not such a focus on figures like this. At a certain point, to even put the focus on them so much that it's a priority, it becomes kind of useless. There's no value in doing it anymore. There's value in holding the situation accountable, but it doesn't have to be nonstop. What we want to focus on, what we really want to focus on, is what's going on and what the data is saying, what are institutional investors doing, what are industry players doing to help this industry. And we should focus more on the good that is happening in crypto right now as we get through this bear market. Because look, there's a lot in store. There's a lot of building to be done when we look at this Bitcoin chart, this zoomed out Bitcoin chart. And so I think we should focus on those things, focus on the good news. And today is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's kind of just a slow day. I thought it would be nice to just do a couple news pieces on what's going on in crypto today, kind of do a nice little pulse check. And we'll jump right back into it tomorrow with the charts, see what price is doing. Will be very interesting to see how markets open tomorrow. So time will tell, everybody. Hit that subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I appreciate all of you cruising by tonight. Have a blessed rest of your night and an awesome, awesome Friday tomorrow. God bless.